Welcome, busy gamers. Today we're going to be talking about Watcher of Realms. What's good, what's bad, and that all-important question, is it worth your time? Watcher of Realms is a mobile and PC-based game that offers a captivating journey into the realm of fantasy gaming with a mix of impressive content variety, a refreshing arena mode, and deeply strategic gameplay that can keep players engaged for hours on end. But as it can be played anywhere, anytime via a mobile client, it also rewards the busy gamer even if they can only play off and on during breaks in their day. From my perspective, it's reminiscent of both Raid Shadow Legends and Arknights, launching with a similar tower defense style gameplay to Arknights, but the aesthetic and overall content variety approaching that of Raid. There are over 100 unique heroes at the time of launch across 8 different factions, and there is a large focus on collecting and building these heroes out to take advantage of complementary skills. While the game does boast several strengths, it is not without its drawbacks, including gacha mechanics that might put off some players or prey upon certain personalities. There are also slow energy regeneration issues and some content that, while rewarding, is too simple, causing it to read or feel a little bit more like a mundane task. All of that being said, though, its accessibility and its streamlined mechanics contribute to an experience that is both quick and easy to pick up. In fact, that's one of the main reasons I did pick this game up. It was recommended and requested that I do a video by a viewer. But it also fit in perfectly with a period of my work and my life where I was traveling and I tied myself up for about 12-hour days with only short breaks between meetings. At the time of this review, I've been playing Watcher of Realms for about 16 days. Now, while I don't know the exact hours and the amount of time that I've put in, I can list a few benchmarks on where I am today. I can get the top chest or reward on Nightmare 1 difficulty of the clan boss in a single fight. I've cleared all of the promotion raids up to at least level 13, and in Arena I bounce back and forth from Gold 3 to Platinum 1, depending on the current event or focus. My Hyperion is at level 52, and I have repelled out to wave 57 in the Tide, never taking a failure there, shall we say. Since this is a gacha game, I will have the disclaimer that I've spent money on the game. While it's been minimal, I'll cover what I bought here. I bought 2 things. I bought the $15 monthly summoning card. This gives you 10 summons immediately, and then every day you get 1 summoning stone. I also bought the privilege card, which is a $5 first purchase, and gives you some benefits on additional gold, additional experience, and faster fights when you do replays or repeats of something that you're farming or grinding. So what is good about Watcher of Realms? The first thing is content variety. Watcher of Realms really shines when it comes to content variety. For new releases, it comes with features that you're going to see usually in much older and more mature games. Now, it is the industry standard nowadays to have those things, but the fact that it launches with them is still really nice to see, as many will be lazy and add them over time. At the time of this video, it's got a lengthy 8-chapter campaign. That campaign has 3 difficulty levels so far, and there are plenty of challenges within each of those levels. There's a unique arena system as well that has a cycling goal and tactic section. There are 7 different raids, including a dragon clan boss and a large wave-based defense mode in Tide. Not only that, but with many of these categories, the raids, for example, are unique, and they require different strategies and tactics. The promotion raids are really a good example here, and I will put a marksman promotion raid up behind me as I talk. Each of the promotion raids, though, forces you to rely on the type of units that you want to promote, with marksman focusing on flying enemies that can bypass your defenses and attack you from a longer range. There's also the Pantheon, where you take on challenges focused on individual factions. This one, while containing some fun challenges, often pushes towards hero depth, and early on you won't have enough variety of your heroes to tackle and attack each one of these. There are generic come one, come all modes within the Pantheon, and that mode improves your HP and your rage generation for all deployed characters. Okay, the second thing I'd like to call out as a positive is just how different and novel the arena mode is compared to other games of this type. It's one of the standout features that, while I'm not sure I would call innovative, it is a refreshing change of pace from a team versus team deathmatch, which you see in most of the games of this type. In Watcher of Realms' arena mode, you're going to be performing tower defenses just like you would throughout the rest of the game, but you're going to be trying to do so better than your opponent. The matches take place over 7 waves of enemies, and if you kill your enemies faster, and while your tower takes less damage, the remaining enemies on your opponent's side are going to explode and deal further damage to their tower, accelerating the final result of the match. Each wave is going to become progressively more difficult, and the enemies and their tactics change every week, forcing your arena team to constantly adapt and change, keeping you from relying on the exact same 5 heroes each week. This mode does add an exciting layer of strategy that sets Watcher of Realms apart from its competitors. So finally, let's go ahead and talk about that strategic gameplay. The overall strategic depth of this game is a major draw. It's a tower defense game. Players are required to carefully plan their moves, assemble well-balanced teams, and utilize various character abilities to overcome challenges. This level of strategy does add a satisfying layer to the gameplay, and it appeals both to casual gamers and those seeking a little bit more of a hardcore experience when it comes to the character development side. Like I said, it's a tower defense game, and it's got 5 unique character classes and many subclasses within each of those to work with. Each map's going to have different enemies and obstacles to deal with, so instead of just fielding 5 heroes and watching them do the work for you, as many of these games have, you have to decide where on the map they're going to be deployed, how you'll utilize the limited deployment areas the most effectively, and each of them have special abilities, so when you're going to trigger those and how you're going to trigger those. Can you keep enough enemies from getting through to your tower or getting through to your crystal, so for example here, while staying alive, defending multiple pathways at once? Yeah, sure, you can do that, but now let's go ahead and add poison clouds to it, let's add bosses to it, let's add enemies that enrage or change in some way when certain conditions are met, and you've got a little bit more of a challenge on your hands. So what is bad about Watcher of Realms? The first thing we have to talk about here are the gacha or gambling style mechanics intended to get you to separate yourself from your hard-earned money. While gacha mechanics are a staple in many modern games, they can be divisive. Watcher of Realms incorporates these mechanics for character acquisition, and while it can be exhilarating and exciting to summon powerful heroes, it can also be pretty frustrating for players who prefer a more direct path to acquiring favorite characters. The reliance on luck may deter some players from fully engaging with the character progression system and sticking with the game for the long haul. Now, issue number 2 for me is the speed that your energy and other resources regenerate. Energy serves as a crucial resource in the game, and it governs the ability to undertake various activities. The slow energy regeneration rate can be pretty frustrating, leading to either long waiting periods or a potential push towards in-app purchases. The pacing issue can also hamper the game's momentum for people and hinder players from enjoying extended sessions. While I do think it gives a fair amount of energy each day in rewards, the amount of energy used in some of the more grindy activities, such as acquiring equipment, general experience, or gold, means that you can run empty really quickly. And gold does tend to be a huge bottleneck and a huge problem in this game. Acquiring it and grinding it is almost impossible without a lot of additional work. The grind itself is a sub point here. For me, I find it calming, and this is a downtime and mobile friendly game, so it was expected for me. But if you haven't played this type of game before, it's 100% something that you should be putting in your mind as an expectation. Finally, let's go ahead and talk about tedious tasks, or those things you're going to want to do every day for rewards, but ultimately they might not be that satisfying. While the game excels in content variety, not all activities are equally engaging. Some tasks such as Tide and any experience or gold level, which is just a single straight pathway to defend, might feel pretty repetitive and fail to capture a player's interest. A more balanced distribution of captivating activities could help sustain engagement across the entire game. Okay, let's talk about the ephemeral efficiencies. So Watcher of Realms offers a streamlined experience that's both quick to learn and pretty easy to play. Its intuitive interface and user-friendly mechanics make it accessible to players of all skill levels, while its quest structures and bite-sized gameplay sections do cater to those seeking a casual experience as well. This approachability ensures that players can dive into this fantasy world without feeling overwhelmed or burdened by intricate systems before they have their feet under them, while still providing a lot of depth and development for the heroes and characters, and those people who really want to min and max their gameplay experience or see the highest levels the game has to offer. On to the final score here. Now I'm going to gauge this in relation to other games of this type, and so when I have a score here, I wouldn't be comparing apples to apples for something like a large AAA game or something like a Baldur's Gate. This is a mobile game, and it does offer a different experience and a different pathway for you to enjoy your time. Overall, though, I am going to give this game an 8, which I feel like is a pretty high praise for a game. Watcher of Realms offers an enchanting fantasy adventure with a lot of strengths, including its content variety, the unique arena mode that I talked about, and the strategic gameplay. However, its results and its reliance on gacha mechanics, the slow energy regeneration, and the occasional mundane task do put a damper on an otherwise exceptional experience. The game's accessibility and streamlined mechanics do make it quick and easy as an option for both newcomers and seasoned gamers alike, though. Anyway, I hope you have enjoyed this review. I've got a storm coming outside, so I'm going to wrap up for today. If you have any comments or feedback for me, please leave them below. I try to answer every single one of them. And until next time, have a great time gaming.